Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. And I figured since I'm late, I might as well crank these bad boys out so I can get up to speed. So we are back for episode 2 from season 2 of P-Valley, 7 pounds of pressure. Now, because I'm so far behind, I'm pretty sure everybody knows there was not a big hoopla, but it was the topic of conversation for a while, what goes on with this episode. So let's get into it. So they are holding auditions, for the paint for the new dancers. And it's, people looking good out there. And Mercedes gets to choose the three girls because they're only choosing three to be the new dancers. And so she's giving her whole little talk about working at the club or whatever. And she chooses a girl named Whisper, which them fucking eyes, color contacts. Shout out to Crystal. I hate him too. Uh, the second girl is Roulette. Oh, wait, let me back up. Because at the beginning, when they standing outside, in line for the auditions, Suge Knight walks past her and tell her, maybe you should be in that other line with the sweepers over there. And Roulette said, you got me fucked up. I wish I would. Like, and when she get on that pole, shows very much why she should have been over there with the dancers. Mind your business, Suge Knight. Um, And when Mercedes is about to announce the last girl, this heifer snatches the mic from her and says Big Bone is the final one. Now, Big Bone is being played by Miracle Watts. And I was first introduced, like, people say it starts with Drake. I was first introduced to her through August Alsina. That's when their relationship was on the low because he didn't want to announce who he was going out with, but people found out anyway. Um, so she's like, "Oh yeah," but she can't dance though. That's the thing. You got that big ass for nothing because you can't twerk it on the pole, which was so funny because I'm just like, she was a stripper in real life, but now she gets on a stripper show and act like she can't dance. So I was like, okay. Um, and Mercedes has a fit. It's just like, why her? Like she can't do nothing. But Fall tells her, her ass is big and it will garner a lot of attention and bring in more dollars. Because although she can't dance, they gonna want to come look at her ass. Um, and she then Fall gonna tell her, you could teach her some moves. And when Sadie says, I ain't no motherfucking coach, but even though I hate it, Fall gagged her and was like, "You are actually." Because it's like, yeah, I forgot to mention in the last episode, well, not forgot, but because I wanted to run down all the money, how all the money was spent. But Fall does mention how she gave Mercedes the money for a down payment on her building, like for her dance team. So instead, what is she gonna do? Big Bone is gonna be the bartender instead of a dancer. So, and I never understood. So I'm like, so if she gonna be behind the bar, why didn't we get the third girl that Mercedes was gonna originally pick anyway? But everybody else got sent home. Um, Whip Boy and Fake Obama show up, and it's just like, cause now this is the part that got me. Like you see, Uncle Clifford got her get up on. This was beautiful. I love this outfit, except for the ponytail in the back. It was terrible. Um, what is his name? Suge Knight comes over and says "boss," and Fall and Uncle Clifford turn around like yes, and Uncle Clifford was like, "Excuse me, girl, you are nobody's boss. Gone, back it up." But that's when they walk in, and it's just like we're not even open. What are y'all doing here? Uh, Crooked baby daddy is trying to get fake Drake arrested. But the sheriff tells him, nobody was around to see who actually started the fight. So if I arrest him, then I'm gonna have to arrest you too. Is that what you want? Um, and he's like, no, and he's mad about it, but it's just like y'all started fighting in the bathroom. It was just y'all two in there. And how you gonna try to get him arrested? Like, you little bitch, you could fight her. You could beat up on her. but you can't do that to a, well, I don't want to say a real one, like she's not a real person, but you got your ass whooped, now you crying wolf, like get out of here. And so he goes in the house when the baby start crying because he got to get himself under control. Just like you a bitch. Um, so Mercedes is showing the girls roulette and whisper how to work the pole or like a few little tricks, and she hurts her shoulder, and they see it and it was like, "Oh, I felt that." And roulette, what did she call her, Big Ma or Grandma? And she was like, "I can run down to the liquor store and get you some green alcohol." And Mercedes is upset. She's like, "I know this bitch just didn't just call me old." And it's just like, compared to them, you are. And the way of the world today, it's just like being closer to 30, you might as well be fucking 80 because they act like 30 is so old. Um, so anyway, Whip Boy and fake Obama are there to offer them 500K to sell the building. And they decline. Fall says she wants 10 million. And Whip Boy, like he got a little bass in his voice, and he was like, "Bitch, you must be out your motherfucking mind." And it's just like, "No, you must be out your mind coming in here talking to me like this." And it's just like, we not selling. So get it off, get it off your mind. And so Suge Knight tells Uncle Clifford that um the flyers are there. So, she excuses herself, like, I got some real work to do. I ain't got time to be playing around with y'all. Um, and when she puts on her glasses to look at it, it says that the um the date for the reopening is this Friday instead of next Friday. And this Friday is Uncle Clifford's birthday. And so Whip Boy is like, "Oh, that's a hell of a way to spend your 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Clifford." And he walks away. And so she's like, "Are you mad about this being like?" He's like, "Man, ain't nobody worried about that. The point is, the club ain't even ready to open, and you too busy trying to rush this shit, and it's gonna be all messed up." And so she's like, "Well, we ain't got no more money, and the quicker we get it open and get money flowing in, it'll make sense later." And it's like, but if the shit all falls apart before the people even get in the door, ain't nobody gonna be there to spend no money. Um, and so like they go back to the office and they still talking about it, and she's just like, "This makes the most sense. We're gonna open it this Friday, which is tomorrow." And Uncle Clifford says, "You know what? You gonna do it by your damn self. I'm not gonna be here." And she says, "I'm too much of a cat to get fucked by a kitten," which was a great analogy. It's like you think you know some shit, but you don't know nothing. And it's just like, yeah, it may seem like Uncle Clifford is not good with money and she's always real close to losing the shop, but she's more street smart and she knows how to interact with people, so it's gonna always work out in the end for her compared to Fall. um but Mercedes burst through the door like with the flyer and said, "Who the hell approved this?" And Uncle Clifford turns around and points right at her like, "This heifer, she did it." um that's Uncle Clifford's birthday. Is this a national holiday I should know about? Yes, bitch, because you just got here, so you don't know nothing about the town, about the people who you trying to fuck over. um so Murder shows up at Uncle Clifford's house, and Grandma, out of breath, is so happy to see him. Like, "Ooh, and I, crooked letter, crooked letter, I." And Murder's like, "Ooh, I ain't think y'all listen to me in this house." But Uncle Clifford tiptoes her way to behind the door. But it's like, baby, you don't see that big ass mirror that's like in front of y'all door that shows him that you standing right behind that door? How long you been in that house? How long y'all been living together? Um, but Murder sees him, and you just see the love in his eyes. He misses his boo. Um, but he's like, "I messed up and I learned my lesson now. But I'm about to get ready to go on tour." And Grandma, out of breath, is like, "Oh, you a star bra." He's like, "Not yet, but I'm on my way." And he like taps the door to let him know, like, I see you and I hope you hear me when I say what I said, like I messed up, but I know I learned my lesson now. Crooked Letter lies on fake Drake, and this is what, well, of course, after she held the gun up to him, but this made me even more pissed off because on the reviews that we do over at the Collective 3, please go check that out. Please go check out the Collective 3, where me and my two friends we record the show on that channel as well. I'm gonna put a link above to the channel. Um, they was like, he did yell at her, and I went back and watched, and I was like, he never yelled at her. So she lied on that man saying that he yelled at her, and he never did. Like his voice got a little forceful, but being forceful and yelling is not the same. So it's just like you lied on that man. And that's what's making me not like her. I understand that she has to survive, but you don't have to drag him down along the way. But when she tells him that because he found the diapers that she threw away that were not needed. He found them and he's like, "So you snuck off to Family Dollar to meet up with your boyfriend?" And she's like, "How do you know that?" He's like, "I know everything you do. I um I track your phone." So it's just like, yeah, of course, I know exactly what you did. But she's like, no, I didn't even know he was gonna be there. And he started yelling at me. He's like, he what? So he calls and files a complaint and gets Fake Drake fired. And I was just like, girl, ooh, Keyshawn, crooked letter, crooked letter. Um, Murder calls DJ Never Scared to try to get him to come on the tour with them. And he's like, I'm in Atlanta working with a big artist who we know is Meg the Stallion. Cause after she comes out the studio and stands behind him, it's like, run that track back for a real bitch. And it's Megan's voice. So it's just like he gonna be working with Megan the Stallion. Um, but Murder is mad and he not trying to hear that because he like, man, I need you here with me on the road for this tour. So he hangs up on Nephew Never Scared. I said, "Oh, terrible." Um, and they go pick up somebody from jail who is a part of the gang that Murder is in. Who is it? Murder. Oh, Wody is Undertaker. And they go pick up his friend from jail, who is now gonna be his security. Uncle Clifford is taking out the trash, and it's like you knew that this was leading up to his birthday because first of all he was like kind of sad and depressed about his birthday the whole episode, and then the way grandma out of breath was so insistent on him taking out that trash because it just stinks so bad, or take out the recycling. It's just like take something outside. So it's just like when he goes outside, I mean when she sorry when she goes outside, she's kidnapped. And on the way in to her surprise birthday party, she's like, I'm so sorry for screwing somebody at church, uh for chopping up and putting a body in the river. It's just like, oh, I said, girl, that is terrible. And they just like, bitch, you really did? And of course it's like, no, I was just playing with y'all. It's like, bitch, you going to jail. Told all your bitch why you was covered up. I would at least waited to see who I was looking at. Well, I ain't snitching anyway, but I'm just saying, like, at least know who you talking to. Um, so like I said, of course the opening to the Pynk goes all wrong. Kitchen catches on fire, they done burnt up the wings. Uh Big Bone supposed to be making drinks. She back there twerking. It's just like, girl, people having baby daddy drama. And she's like, she said something. She was like, Uncle Clifford said, and the baby daddy said, "Bitch, you ain't Uncle Clifford. So you can't call out his rules, call out her rules, and you not her." Uh, oh, and Mercedes, because while Roulette and Whisper like they going off, honey, and she's jealous. That it's just pure jealousy. She is very jealous. Um, she goes up that pole and try to do a trick, and she falls. It's just like you know your shoulder ain't no good, and because you see them doing so well, you trying to play catch up. It's like you not the youngest hottest bitch at the club no more. You can still like you still Mercedes, but you not that no more. And especially when you won't go get your shoulder checked out. Um, so when she wakes up or when she she's taken to fake Drake, who does some root work on her, and he takes 7 pounds off of her. And she's like, like, what does that mean? And he's like, I do know that it takes 7 pounds of pressure to pull the trigger on a gun. And Mercedes, she looking at Fall like, bitch, this is your fault. And she said, I'm gonna get caught. I said, oh, everybody breaking down under pressure. But Uncle Clifford was like, how you gonna get caught? Because the only two people that was in that room is me and that heifer over there. And we ain't saying that. So how you gonna get caught? And then she sees uh Fall sees that fake Drake still has Montavious ring, and she's like, why do you have this ring? He's like, that's my business. And me and Suge Knight was the last two people with his body. That's for my own protection, so don't worry about it. I'm good, and it's gonna keep him where he need to be at. Back the hell up. And so when they're leaving out from fake Drake's house, Mercedes kicks Fall out. She's like, you know what? You got to get up out my house. And she's like, but I haven't found a place. It's like, girl, I don't care about none of that. You're getting out of my house. You causing me too many problems. Um, so she is now sleeping in the bag, and she's walking around with this lingerie on, which confused the hell out of me. I'm like, why are you walking around in lingerie? And then we see Montavia show up on the CCTV, and it's just like, I don't get this. Like, I know it ties back to Fall and like what she did and how now everybody got a hand in it, but it's like I'm pretty sure some other shit don't went down in the Pynk, and ain't nobody being haunted like this. Um, but fake Obama shows up and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, the door was open, first of all. And y'all usually don't close till 5 o'clock. So I thought somebody, like other people was gonna be up in here. Like, bitch, calm your nerves. Um, but in the end, Crooked Letter convinces her baby daddy to let her go on the tour. And she's like, this could be good for us. Don't I always take care of you? Now it's time for you to take care of me. And so the episode ends with her getting into, oh yeah, because they're riding around in a hearse that Undertaker got from his job. Cause I'm so sorry. But when I forgot to mention, Murder showing up to Undertaker's job and that nigga was asleep in a coffin. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. So yeah, they're all getting in the back of the hearse, and it's time to head out, and it's time to start the Dirty Dozen tour. So let's see how that goes. All right, my beautiful people. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you back in the next episode. Peace.